guys, we are back with New School Mondays, and we are looking at our next two players right now. They're in the room, they're ready to go, and we are going to be getting started. This is going to be a best of three series, and it is going to be a ZVZ between one player who has repeatedly been in this tournament. He actually has joined almost every single New School Monday. He's a really interesting player. I gotta say, his ZVZ is actually pretty good, so I'm curious to see how he's going to perform against newcomer Magnan. Okay, so in the bottom position here on MLG Metalopolis, kicking off this best of three, sporting his Panda decals, we got Dilsta. In the top position, we have our blue, our aqua, teal, zerg, Magnan. Actually, I think that's Cerulean, if you go by the Crayola swatches. I don't know what crayons you guys used to use when you were kids, but I used to use Crayola. I think that was the choice of all nerd callers as kids. And so things are going to be kind of slow here at the beginning, both of them scouting in the wrong position with their overlords. We should be seeing their builds really be dictated off of the gas. In ZVZ, you don't see players grab a quick expansion very often, at least unless you're like Stefano or some extremely high tier player. You don't really grab an expansion that quickly. You are more likely to get your pool first and start teching even before you get your expansion. So somebody may not have told Magnan, but there are no close spawns in this map. So if you go ahead and if you're playing on MLG maps, especially Metalopolis, your opponent is either at close air positions or they're going to be at far positions. The reasoning behind that is so that players can get a better chance to play a macro game, and different types of cheese are less likely. So I believe we saw, this might have been a gas burst from Magnan. The reason why you do that is so that you have your gas saturated in time by the time the spawning pool finishes, so that you can jump right into getting your speed upgrade for your Zerglings. Now, both of their pools practically finishing at the same time. We have Dilsta with a slight economic lead. Both of them are positioning their overlords out on the map so that they're going to be able to scout any sort of incoming attacks. They're not actually positioning them right over each other's bases just yet, although it's not uncommon. The only issue with that is that because of the surface area on the map, it would be very easy for a queen to pick off an overlord if the overlord got a little too ballsy and got too close into the base. So, see, both of them have scouted each other's positions now, so they're going to know that they're at far positions. That may prompt one of them to take an expansion or choose a tech route. Speed has started for Dilsta, and it has not started yet for Magnan, so he may be going a different route. I'm curious to see if he's going to be getting roaches out, if he's going to throw up a Baneling Nest. Nope, he is going to grab his Expo. And oh, Dilsta sees it. Dilsta knows it's going down. Let's just make sure from his position. Yep, he sees that that expansion is underway, and maybe, just maybe, Magnan will be able to hold it, but it's going to be up to Dilsta now to decide whether or not he's going to take his, and he does immediately, so that he won't fall too far behind. This is an interesting play right here. Magnan going ahead and killing the supply depot, probably because that's where he's going to want to position a spine crawler once this expansion finishes. Both of them got their queens out, and now we see Dilsta making a lot of lings. His speed is going to be finishing very soon too, so we're going to see him go for an attack, no doubt, which I would say is a good move. He's got his, he's got his expansion on the way, so he's not going to be behind. He's not going to be behind in his production abilities, although he might be behind in production. Let's take a look at that tab real quick. Yep, and it's showing. Magnan is really trying to get a nice, healthy amount of drones out on his creep. ferrying minerals back and forth, able to supply a sufficient economy. And now Magnum pulls all the drones back into the main, knowing that there's going to be an attack here at the natural. But is he just going to give it up? What is he going to do? He's creating 6 Zerglings right now. Oh, the Queen gets surrounded. She is going down, no doubt. And now we have a Zergling on Zergling battle here. The action is very intricate, kind of crazy, out of control. And now the Zerglings are picking away at these drones. Oh no, this is bad. And now, 13 workers for Magnum. Dillsta timed this out just right. But these roaches might come in and make the difference. They could shut this down. The positioning is perfect, but Magnum just knows from there he is not going to be able to come back because of his economy. So that was a pretty quick and decisive game. We should be jumping right into game 2 without a break. That is how ZVZ is played. I'm telling you. You make one move, and if you swerve in one direction and that lane is not open, and in this case that was his roach timing, then it's going to slap you in the face. If instead of getting the expansion, say for example if he canceled it or something along those lines, we could have seen a different outcome. If Dillsta had kept building his expansion and instead Magnum had faked out his, canceled it, a bunch of lings would have been coming over to his base and those roaches could have come out much faster. So things like that, little kind of like mind games like that could go a long way. Alright, both players are really amped to get into this. They're actually telling me we're ready. We want to get into game 2 like right now. So without any delay, we're going to jump right into that. Lately I've been liking ZVZ more and more. If you guys don't play ZVZ, I definitely recommend trying it or at least playing with it, because you learn a lot. Whether you play Protoss or Terran, there's a lot you can learn from it in terms of the macro game, timings from other races. You pretty much learn the timings of all races just playing as Zerg, simply because the success of playing as Zerg revolves around knowing when your opponent's going to be at your base, when they're going to be hitting you. So this next map is going to be on GSL Daybreak. But before we jump into that, I just want to mention iHeart Esports really quick. They are our official sponsor. They make these really cool StarCraft 2 stickers, and I highly recommend checking them out. Their website is at iHeartEsports.com. They have like a GG sticker, they have race represented stickers. So you can slap those. I don't care where you put them. You can put them on your car. You can put them on your, on the back of your toilet. Put them in the mirror. Put them on your girlfriend's butt. Slap them on the dude's back who plays Terran at your school. If you don't like Terran, do whatever you want. But just go ahead and check them out. Definitely balling it up for the esports community. So swing by their website and cop some of that if you're into that, if you want to get something like that. Hey, last minute Christmas shopping, that's how you can do it. Stuff that in a stocking. So let's get into this game. Here we go. At the bottom left position, because there is only a bottom left and bottom and top right position on GSL Daybreak, we have our pink Zerg Dillsta, who's currently up 1 game. In the top right position, we have our changed clothes, changed color, turning red, blushing Zerg Magnum. Hopefully this color can play out a little bit better for him. Maybe it can help him hide the blood when he gets injured, so Dillsta won't recognize the weakness. Well, let's see what's going to happen here. On this map, it is actually very risky to go for something like Hatch first. And I think that is what Magnum is doing. Oh, man. This is so risky. This is so risky. He has to be on top of all of his timings if he wants to do this. And already his timing is a little bit off. He could have made one more trip on a mineral patch before doing that. But it's okay. If Dillsta doesn't scout it early on, he will not be able to capitalize on it. Dillsta just going really safe again. He's getting that gas first. He's going to have close to 100 gas and minerals by the time this finishes. He's probably going to have to wait about another 15 seconds after the pool finishes to have enough gas, but that won't be much of a problem. So the scouting drone for Dillsta is heading across the map now. Going to be getting a good look at this base. He's going to be pulling out his cell phone, snapping pictures, incognito like a spy. He's going to be popping his collar. He's going to look like the neighborhood watch guy. And just, oh, and he sees all he needs to see. Did you see that? He actually went back to the drone, clicked on it, and was like, I don't need to see anything else. I know, that gives me all the information I need. So he goes back home, and what is he going to be doing? Speed has started. The pull is just finishing for Magnin. So I think we're going to see Dilsta, even though he's grabbing... Okay, so he did the same thing in the last game. He went ahead and he grabbed his expo as quick as possible, knowing that he needs to catch up. And Magnin, he's just very macro-centric. I don't really know what his plan is. Obviously, it seems like he's comfortable playing macro games, and he just really likes to drone up, get that really healthy economy, so that he can trade over and over and over. Dilsta on top of his larva injects. Magnin, his queen has just popped out. Goes ahead and vomits that larva. Some people say it's vomit larva. The icon says spawn larva, so I'm a little bit curious about that. I don't think it looks like she vomits. I think it looks like, I mean, she does kind of spit on it, but if she was vomiting, I don't know. Last time I checked, ugh. Okay, I'm going to stop talking about vomit because it's making me a little queasy, especially with all this random organic stuff flying all over the place. Baneling Nest is about to finish for Dilsta. That will give him, I would say, a pretty significant advantage in terms of being aggressive here. What it's going to come down to is that we're about to see a very intense micro battle. Harvester counts are nearly the same, both of them just kind of leveling out. But as far as unit composition goes, I think that since the Baneling Nest is finished first, and oh, okay, so I see what's going on. Magnon is going to try and get a +1 before Dilsta can, and hope that this will be the difference in turning the tide of the battle when it happens. Neither of them going for a lair yet. Oh, just as I say that, Magnin is going for his lair. I wonder if he's going to do that because he wants to go Muta, or if he wants to get the speed upgrade on his Banelings. He could be even going Infestors. Ling Infestor is pretty potent. Infestors pretty much shut down Lings in a huge way. You can just use one fungal growth, and a bunch of them are going to go pop. Ooh. Couple of Banelings morphing for Magnin. He's going to be in control here. He's even got a Spine Crawler that will finish before this attack shows up. So I'm wondering what Dilsta's plan is going to be from here. 2 more gases going down for Dilsta. We will no doubt see some heavy tech coming out of him. The layer is started now. I think his timing may have been a little bit off here, actually. I think he wanted to get some... I think he wants to go Muta at this point. Especially since he's gotten almost all of his gases. He needs to grab this gas, though, if he's gonna actually go Muta. Dilsta committing to a lot of forces, pushing out across the map. I think he senses, oh, okay, this amount of Banelings, if they land perfectly correctly, he can completely neutralize the army of Magnin, but it's gonna come down to some really key micro. We should see these Lings start working on the rocks over here. Okay, or not, and boom! Oh, he takes out almost every single Zergling in the process. That is why you only send one Zergling up that ramp in the beginning. You gotta send that scout consistently and get a look at that. And now Dilsta is just gonna sacrifice two Zerglings to take out that one. Okay, I think he could have microed that a little bit better, but what a trade for him. And now who's taking the supply lead? Dilsta is up by about 15 supply, almost. Those Baneling connects were key right there. And as I predicted, these Spire